I started up the truck to go to work, and all of a sudden I got no radio working, and we continued to work throughout the day, and then the heat went out. So look at that. It won't go into defrost. I don't know if that's because the door is open, but we're having no heat in the truck. And yeah, look at that, guys. It won't. There it is. Finally went over. It's having a hard time though. If you hold it, yeah, it won't stay into max defrost. So if you play with it a little, it will. Maybe that'll give me some kind of heat if I keep it over, if I keep playing with that over. But let me go ahead and examine some things and show you guys what I think the issue is. So again, no radio. It won't turn on and it won't play audio, but CarPlay and all that stuff did work on the truck. So let's see here. Let me show you what I think it is. What could be going on is back here, this plug I found is open, and I totally must have forgotten to cover this up. On my 350, this is covered up, but you see it's all green inside of there from having the tailgate off. So I'm gonna maybe cut this off or clean it or something. I gotta do something with this in order to get this, maybe this is shorting something out. Let me see if I can figure some things out here with this. So I went ahead and cut this thing off. Hopefully you can see in there. You can see it's all green and nasty. So yeah, if you plow and you leave this thing open, not good. And that's the first mistake I made. It did, doing this, just cutting this off, the heat is now working. So I'm now getting hot air in the truck, but I'm still not getting the radio. So still no audio. Next step is for me to clean this area up. I'm getting water in here. Look how much water is sitting in here. Now I put drain holes in here, but the issue now is apparently these drain holes are closed or clogged up. So if I just reach in here, then you can see the small little teeny tiny hole that I put in here. There's too much debris. It's too much debris. Now that I've moved it with my finger, it's draining down. Just that little tiny hole right there allows the water to fall out of the truck, and it just drips down right there. And you can't see, I mean, water can't get in through there, it only can get out. So this side's soaking wet. The other side has the same thing. It has the hole, same spot. That side's bone dry. What's happening is when it rains, water is coming down through this area. When you lift up the carpet, you can see the water dripping down after a rain, and it travels underneath the carpet and it sits here and drips on this line. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. I'm probably gonna go ahead and open this up and spray some cleaners in it. I'm thinking this area is going to be a problem, and I'm thinking it just pretty much sat up underwater. So let me keep on moving along here. So when I had all this apart, I cleaned up the wiring and everything, and I had to put it all back together and send it. Basically what I did is I covered this up real nice with this black tape just over top of this trough, and that seems to have kept it pretty clean. I'm finally getting around. It's not too terribly cold out, and I'm going to have an opportunity to mess with this. So looking at what we've done, we've cleaned the salt out of this thing, and we have covered it up a little bit better. When I touch the bottom of this carpet, it's saturated wet. It's soaking wet. So moisture is still getting in here. So I have to go through and do diligence and figure out where this moisture is coming through. And my guess right now is the windshield. I'm not seeing moisture on the headliner, and let's see if we got anything in here. Normally when it's your cab lights, you have moisture on the headliner. I don't have any sign of it being coming from the rear vents. When we pull this up, we don't have any moisture really getting back here anymore. So water's still getting in the truck. Just the fact that I went ahead and put just a wide piece of tape over top of this trough, that keeps the salt. It seems like it does help keeping the salt from soaking onto this harness. So we've been salting and plowing, and there is no more salt in this wiring than how we left it. So still no radio function. The problem is I have to pull out the seat and all that in order to be able to see underneath the carpet. So let me get going on this. I went ahead and pulled this back panel off. I know the water is not getting into the truck from the rear, but I figured I would pull this off just to double confirm that all my tabs are not missing or broken or not allowing this to stay in place and moisture is not getting past here. Even so, pretty interesting. This is not the tightest fitting part of the truck. You can see it does have some movement, but mine seem to be operational. But when you really look in here at this, you can see that these rubber flaps will allow air to escape the truck when you slam the doors or when the HVAC is running or anything like that, to allow for pressure to exit the truck. Otherwise your HVAC system will be under a load. So what I'm gonna do is I'm proposing I close these vents off, turn on my HVAC fan, and see if that pressurizes the cab at all. And from there, I will go ahead and put soap on the truck and see if it bubbles anywhere with those closed. Because check this out. You turn on your HVAC. When you turn on your HVAC fan, full blast, these inadvertently open up and allow this air to escape. So if I close those off, I wonder if that will be enough to provide enough airflow to allow me to find a leak using bubbles. Let's see what happens. So now with the HVAC running and these covered up, you can really hear the air hissing kind of around any type of a crack. Let's see if maybe if we roll the window a little. Oh yeah, you can hear the air. Any type of small leak now, the cab's under pressure. So let me turn off the HVAC for now and get some soapy water and see if that will allude to any type of leaks. I'm really gonna be looking at the windshield. So I've been probing this truck looking for leaks. You can hear the truck's kind of howling and whistling because I've closed everything off. So even when you get near the truck, it's like every seal wants to howl. So we do know we have positive pressure in the truck just from running the HVAC with those rear vents clogged up. If you can see on the window here, should see that it bubbles because the window, it doesn't actually seal that good because water is designed to kind of flow through the window or through the doors itself, and that's on all vehicles. But I mean, I've checked every single thing on this truck, the windshield, the seals, everything. I mean, I've just poured this water, soapy water, on everything, and only thing you get, the doors don't count though. You would expect the doors to do that and to do this, but everything, I mean, I've even checked up in here, this stuff all good to go. The lights on top, the clearance lights are good to go. The lights, the third brake light, good to go. You can really hear air escaping out of the rear vents because it's building up the pressure there. But what I found is there's definitely a leak. Let's grab this water and see if this will work. There's definitely a leak here. I've had to take all of this apart and I found a problem. Let me get up in there. This is what I found. Basically, yeah, this urethane seal is misplaced and is actually hanging out of the windshield. I do not believe it's making a full seal, and this might explain why no matter how much water you pour on the truck, it will not leak until it physically is raining. Then the truck fills with water. That's the only situation where there's enough water to make the leak present. So let's see if we have bubbling here. I don't know if this cup will pour the water in this area good. Check it out. Does appear to be bubbling right there. Right there, ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. And at first I was kind of thinking maybe because this area, the air is flowing around this area, but just where that rubber seal is hanging out is where it's bubbling. Only right there. Pretty crazy. Very, very, very bad spot for it to be leaking. I can't really think of how this can get fixed without replacing this windshield. I was thinking maybe I could get like some urethane in a caulk gun, throw it up in there and push it up in here and fill that gap up, but I don't know if that would work. I just don't know. But anyway, that's where our leak is. So this method of leak detection does seem to work. If it were an easier spot, it'd been better versus having all this. You can kind of hear it back here. The doors, you can feel it when you open them. Instantly quiets it up, and yeah, basically I just saran wrapped them shut. Let the truck pump up just using the HVAC to provide positive pressure, and that's all we needed. I think if you were driving around like this, your ears would just pop because there's a lot of freaking positive pressure in the truck. So anyway, guys, that's it for now. I guess we found our leak. Hoping that's really just it. Hopefully nowhere else. Like I was saying, the carpet stays wet, and I don't know if it's getting wet from me finally finding it, but this whole floorboard is wet, guys. This whole floor is saturated wet. So anyway, guys, stay tuned to the channel as we continue to repair this truck. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do about that leak. The easiest thing for me to do would be to drop it off, have it replaced, and then go from there with the continuing of the repair. So anyway, my name is Sean. This is DS Trucks. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Over and out.